has just earned herself a technical, and she, I believe, has been thrown out of the game.
That was old footage of Diana Taurasi, or as the mainstream media prefers to call her, WNBA legend Donna Taurasi. Or as she is better known in the missing persons unit at the local police precinct, Jane Doe. That was archived footage of Diana Taurasi arguing with WNBA officials. Players arguing with officials. This is not uncommon in basketball. Matter of fact, happens damn near every game. Instead of playing defense, Luka Doncic prefers to argue with officials most of the time. Basketball, more than any other sport, basketball is known to give preferential treatment to its star players. It's been happening for decades, but according to Cari Champion, who, by the way, it's kind of ironic that Cari Champion is now talking about the WNBA. This league is synonymous with failure, and Cari is the undisputed champion of failure. I have been sitting on this story probably since Thursday. Initially, I did not want to talk about this. Reason being, I did not want to give Cari Champion free publicity, and I damn sure didn't want to give smelly Jemele free publicity. Unfortunately, though, their pretend friends in the mainstream media have already consumed the shit sandwich. They have spent the last 36 hours giving this dynamic duo of failure exactly what they want. Of course, it's not helping. I checked the latest episode of their podcast, Flagrant Failures with Cari and Smelly. It has less than 2,000 views in 24 hours. For those that don't know, Cari Champion, Jemele Hill, they recently launched their new YouTube channel. This is their latest in a long line, a very, very long line of huge embarrassing failures. They had a show together on Vice, Failure. Jemele Hill recently had a show on True TV, Failure. A couple of years ago, Cari Champion was given a show, I think it was on Amazon Prime, but either way, keyword, given. This was not earned. Cari Champion didn't land a deal with Amazon based on her ability to draw an audience. She could have pallets of fresh turds in her front yard, and all the flies would be in her neighbor's yard. That is how boring and untalented Cari Champion is. 3 months ago, they launched their latest turd called Flagrant Failures. Unsurprisingly, it is failing at unbelievable levels. So far this month, at least according to Social Blade, Cari and Smelly have 65,000 views on YouTube. Now, just to give you an idea of how unbelievably bad this is, my second channel, which is pretty much topics that I just do for fun, last month, my second channel generated 350,000 views. And I was out of town, not posting videos for 10 days last month. At 65,000 views, Cari Champion and Jemele Hill are making around $600 a month on YouTube. They are starving. They can't afford to live in a tent on the homeless beaches in Santa Monica. No matter how much free publicity they are given, no matter how much polish they put on this turd, they can't get anyone outside of family and friends to sedate themselves watching this garbage. Hell, they can't even get bots to tune in. So, what do? They decide to go after the only star in the WNBA, hoping to generate publicity. Now, to their credit, they got the attention that they wanted, but unfortunately for Cari Champion, instead of the attention turning into monetizable views, it basically turned into public humiliation. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. According to Cari Champion, Caitlin Clark is receiving preferential treatment from the WNBA. This blatant favoritism annoys the hell out of me. Why is she getting special treatment? It's not fair. What? Fair? For starters, you know what's not fair? Your sponsors paid to advertise on your show. They paid you to get their brand in front of tens of thousands of people, and your channel is a literal graveyard. But let's think about this logically for a second. Let's assume Caitlin Clark is getting preferential treatment from the WNBA. Now, her fan base would disagree with that, but let's just assume that's the case. Why would Caitlin Clark receive special treatment from the league? I wonder if it has anything to do with the fact that she is their only mainstream draw. Both Cari Champion and Jemele Hill, they used to work at ESPN, which means it was part of their job to follow the NBA. As a league, the NBA is synonymous with giving stars preferential treatment. Hell, this is really the case in all aspects of life. If I have a problem here on YouTube, if a video gets demonetized, which rarely happens anymore, if I'm having technical issues, behind the scenes issues, whatever the case may be, I contact my channel manager, and most of the time, he is quick to respond and get the problem resolved. If Captain Doofus with 200 subscribers has a problem, good luck. YouTube prioritizes the channels that are generating views and revenue. If you work at a sales company and you're the top salesman, the other salesmen at the company produce nothing but toxic ass gas, you're going to have privileges and benefits that the flatulating salesman doesn't have. For some reason, Cari Champion is having a very hard time understanding this simple concept. I guess from her perspective, this isn't very equitable. All players should be treated equally. The WNBA is for everyone. We are all winners. There is no such thing as equity. Equity is a myth that non-producers created so they could receive the same benefits and luxuries that actual producers receive. Cari Champion took it a step further with her criticism of Caitlin Clark. The more we see Caitlin Clark, I'm like, girl, I don't like you. The way she behaves, the way she speaks to her coaches, it reeks of entitlement. But that's okay, because we're coming after you, Caitlin. Excuse me? Entitlement? You're accusing Caitlin Clark of being entitled? Believe it or not, I don't necessarily disagree with Cari Champion. On some level, I'm sure Caitlin Clark does feel entitled. However, she has earned that entitlement. She has taken this dump of a league. She has taken this league that no one took seriously, and she has elevated pretend basketball into the mainstream. The problem here for Cari Champion, in a league filled with entitled players, in a league filled with players who have not earned their entitlement, in a league filled with players who are financially worthless and they're still making major money, you want to criticize the only player who's earned their entitlement and accuse her of being entitled? There was one thing Cari Champion said that I did happen to agree with. She claimed that the WNBA is mishandling Caitlin Clark. Now, I think Cari Champion meant this as they are spoiling her. They are letting her get away with things that unknown players can't get away with. But 3 years into this, the WNBA hasn't exactly handled Caitlin Clark very well. Now, in their defense, this league has never dealt with a major star. Hell, the WNBA has never dealt with a star. Whether it's marketing promotions where Caitlin Clark is not featured. A couple of weeks ago, the league was promoting a game, I think it was between the Seattle Spankers and the Indiana Clarks. Instead of putting Caitlin Clark's face on the poster, the WNBA included the faces of John and Jane Doe. It was two players that no one's ever seen before. Last year, Kat Engelbert, she insinuated that the WNBA was the reason that Caitlin Clark was able to make money off the court. Without our platform, Caitlin wouldn't be receiving endorsement deals. We made her famous. Our platform? Before Caitlin Clark entered this league, the platform was completely empty. During her rookie season, the league was heavily criticized for not protecting Caitlin Clark against jealous and resentful players. Now, to their credit, they seem to have addressed the issue this season, but there have definitely been some growing pains. It's abundantly clear that the WNBA had no idea what to do with Caitlin Clark when she entered the league a couple of years ago. This is pure speculation on my part. I don't know if Cari Champion actually believes what she is saying about Caitlin Clark. Like I said, she worked at ESPN. She followed the NBA. She knows star players receive special treatment in basketball. I'm wondering if Cari Champion is saying this to generate attention for herself. Now, if that's the case, it worked. She was trending on Twitter last night. Story was picked up by the mainstream media. If the goal was to generate publicity, Cari Champion succeeded. In a career filled with failure, she finally found a way to succeed. But generating attention, generating publicity, that's only half the battle. There are millions of people every day who generate attention, whether it's TikTok, YouTube Shorts. They create a 1 or 2 minute clip. It generates millions of views. They go viral. Viewership surges for 36, maybe 48 hours. 1 week later, they're forgotten. 1 week later, they're wondering what the hell happened. Generating publicity only works if you provide value. Millions of impressions are completely worthless if people don't return to your platform. Now, to their credit, both Jemele Hill and Cari Champion, they are brilliant at generating publicity. Every so often, Jemele Hill makes news for something ridiculous. Cari Champion gets humiliated on CNN by the American hero Scott Jennings. I am a real American. But 24 hours later, the attention vanishes. 3 months they have been on YouTube. Their channel has just over 600,000 views. They're struggling to find a way to monetize attention because Cari Champion and Jemele Hill, they're not providing value. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.